Okay, good morning, y'all. It is Monday morning, East Coast, 8:36 a.m. precisely. I'm actually just up. I'm actually got up kind of early. I had to run to the trash dump, and I'm actually going to run to the store to. I'm wanting to make some like hot beef stew. I haven't like made beef stew in a long time, and it's cold weather, and so I wanted to make some like I don't know comfort food. Plus, it lasts a long time too. I'm trying to like do better with like just not eating out as much, even though I did just yesterday. But I've been doing good. But like yesterday, I went to the movies, so I got something to eat. It's like this really good like Indian restaurant. Oh my God, they're so good. But anyway, um, yeah. So I'm just making a market run to a few things to make a big giant pot of homemade beef stew. Um, and so yeah, I just figured I would get on here and make a video talking about something. And the topic of the video that I wanted to talk about was I'm gonna probably end up naming it something like uh, the future waits for no one, right? And so what really inspired me to make this video or this live rather was kind of just thinking back on a lot of the changes I've basically made, uh, have made, and making, just with how I do things, the you know progression I'm trying to make, and any changes in your life, y'all. It's a progression. It's never you change and then it's done, and it never really ends. It's everything in life, in my opinion. It's a constant refinement. It's a constant um, perspective change. Like you're always looking at things differently. That's why they say like life is just constant change. Nothing ever stays the same because you're always getting. And I've said this on this channel before. You're always getting new and better and kind of like more refined perspectives on life, reality, existence, people, yourself. My perspective on myself has changed and always is changing. Because I'm not the same person I once was, you know. Um, so, the future, God damn, I could have made that light, but I'm not going to take it though because I shouldn't. I could have made it though. I could have, but safety first. Anyway, like I was saying though, yeah, life is always changing. My perspective, our perspective on life is always changing. And that's one thing that I realized. And with that comes, the future waits for nobody. I just realized that, I used to be the kind of person that I was always waiting on people. I had this waiting energy of, once something is perfectly right or perfect, well, then, I can do it. I can do things when things are in the perfect, scenario, or, I can date when, my life is perfect or whatever. I used to be the type of guy that I found myself waiting on people. I used to wait around for people. You know, I used to wait around for women. I used to wait around for, the perfect opportunity to do something. For example, I was waiting on the perfect opportunity to, start a business or work on my business. And I'm just like, I'm never going to have the perfect amount of income or savings or the perfect situation to do anything. It's never going to happen, you know. Um, so here recently, I've been just kind of just really aggressively, even investing, going after things that I was doing it before, but like I'm more so doing it in more of like a aggressive way. I'm not waiting around because I think that I'm going to have the perfect amount of money or whatever. It's just like, just start and do do things as strategically and logically as you possibly can, and just figure this shit out as you go, because that's really what life is anyway. So like, I'm moving through life with this energy now of like, just start and then just keep on going. I may take a break every now and then, but now, especially going into like 2026, and I know people are like, oh, you said this before. No, but it's just, first of all, I'm 36. I'll be 37 this year, right? So I'm not a young. I mean, I'm still young, but like, I'm getting older, and there's things in my life that I'm trying to do before I get to be a certain age. So I'm just like, I've really got to start putting, I really got to like kind of turn the heat up a little bit, basically, because I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, by the time I'm 40, 42-ish, like, it's just certain things I'm going to do. If it ain't happened yet, I ain't going to worry about it, It's like, that's just me. So, I'm really doing my best to like, set things up to where basically like my future self will be like, thank God you did that. Oh my God, if you hadn't done that, we would have been fucked, So I am, I'm just, all of my energy right now is literally being poured into the future, which is basically now. It's another present moment. But I have to do things differently now than what I've been doing them. Me and my uncle were just talking about this. My uncle, by the way, he's not like, he's a little bit, like, he's like 1 year older than me. He was born late. So me and him are like around the same age. But nevertheless, he's still my uncle. I still respect him. And he's still, he's my uncle. So anyway, we were just talking about this, and we be having talks sometimes about just, my family, and just how me and him are just trying to like just be on some other type shit, because we just realized that people in our family, they just, they do things a certain way, and it's just the outcome, it just ain't that great, and we are just recognizing that more and more, and we just have these talks to where we just are like, yo, like, this shit is got to, we gotta take this thing in a different direction, and I'm just talking for myself. Like, it's just certain things, certain ways of living, they're just not good enough anymore. And that's basically what we've been talking about. Basically, it's just, we have both came to the conclusion that, we just refuse to just keep living life the same way, getting the same results, seeing people that came before us do things in a certain way, kind of be stuck in these loops or situations of just basically lack, and just coming to like the conclusion, like, this shit is getting old. So, that's basically like what I'm on. And for me, again, it's just realizing that the perfect time to do anything is never going to be. So I kind of lost my thought a little bit. I was driving, and I was kind of like in flow state with the video, and I kind of lost it. But anyway, the main point is, time doesn't stop for nobody. And so like a lot of this waiting energy, the old version of me, I used to wait around for like the perfect situation, the perfect people, the perfect women, the perfect time. And every time I notice when I meet a woman, I can't say every time. I don't want to say everything. It's not every time. It's just been certain times in my life where I've dated somebody or been with a woman, and she's like, oh, I'm not looking for nothing serious right now, or it's like they wanted to date, but they didn't want to be like in a serious relationship. I'm like, well, what is it? What is this? Like we're fucking, we're dating. Like what do you consider a serious relationship? Like, well, I don't want to be committed. Like, okay, so you just want to fuck other people. Okay, that's all you had to say, But I've always kind of, well, not always, but I've been in situations where, somebody kind of wanted to be with me, kind of not wanted to be with me. Or it was just like, well, I'm not looking for a relationship right now. But it's like, well, we fucking, so like, what, okay. I don't know if any of y'all have had these types of situations in your life where people are like, just not right now. Now it's not a good time. But then you kind of, they check back in or you check back in like a year or two later and like they're pregnant or some shit like that. But when y'all were actually kind of dealing with each other, it was like, now it's not the right time. And I respect that. I really do. Because I don't want to be that type of person that's like trying to like make people, feel pressed or feel pressured to, do what I want to do when I want to do it. But at the same time too, I'm just getting boundaries on like not letting people have too much control over my timeline. It's like, I respect you. I respect your, your feelings of not wanting to do something now or ever possibly. But, just don't expect if you do decide you want something or you want to get serious that I'm going to be just sitting here waiting. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the biggest change I've made. It's like I respect people's decisions and their or non-decisions or whatever the fuck. But I've gotten to a point or version of myself. It's like, listen, my time is precious. My time is valuable. And, I don't have all the time in the world to live life that I want to. So like, again, it's like a thing where I respect people saying that now's not a good time, but just, again, it's like a thing where, okay, I understand that, but just don't expect me to just pause my life, and just wait, because I've done that so many times and it's ended tragically. And, I found myself waiting around for people that were like, oh yeah, after I, move or I get more money, or I get this job or my money gets in a better place, then this can be like this and that can be like, and like, okay. And I waited. And then time came around, things change. I met somebody, I'm pregnant, my ex-boyfriend, my ex-baby daddy came back around, and now it's just like, you're waiting like a dummy because they said, now is not a good time. That kind of stuff happens, So I've just basically learned to just respect my own time more, respect my own timeline more, and never or to stop basically molding my life around other people's timeline. A lot of times other people would tell me, hey, I'm gonna wait until this time to do something. I would actually put off shit that I wanted to, like, for example, like my last relationship. Well, actually my relationship before my last relationship. Well, actually both both my girlfriends, they wanted to, me to live with them, or well, one did. And I was like, at the time I was about to move, and I'm just like, yo, like I'm trying to like, move to a different state. And, basically, long story short, I wasn't really sure where that relationship was going. And I had already knew that I wanted to travel in my RV. Unfortunately, things took a different turn. My circumstances changed. But at the time, I was about to go ahead and do it, like just be done with it. But, I was basically stopping and starting things, putting things on hold, basically because of that relationship. I'm not blaming her, but like a lot of things that I was doing or not doing, it was because I was like, well, I don't know what's going to happen. What happens if, I move, is she going to be able to come with me? She has a kid. Like, how is that going to work? So I was kind of like stalling. I was like not doing certain things because it would move me forward in my progress of, doing what I wanted to do. But I thought that was going to kind of break us up. Had I was had I been more aggressive at certain times back then, I would probably be a lot farther along. You know, got a lot more done. You know, taking advantage of a lot more opportunities. But you know, whatever. But you know, I had put a lot of my plans on hold. And I have a bad habit of doing this. You know, when it comes to dating, when it comes to women, a lot of the things that I'm doing once I'm into a woman and we're like, you know, we're rocking like that, I'll kind of like get distracted because of, you know, being with her and, you know, whatever. You know, I let relationships kind of I allow them to kind of slow me down with what I'm doing. For example, like I was dating this one chick and she used to always complain, like she's like, you work too much. She was like, you need to take a break. And to an extent, she was right. But I also know that I was working that way to reach a certain income per, you know, week or whatever. You know, I was working like 5 days a week or 6 days a week or whatever. And then when I was off, I was like DoorDash like almost every day from like 10 a.m. to like, you know, 7 or 8 at night, because I was grinding. I was hustling. I was like, I need to get this amount of money up to get this done, to do this, to do that, whatever. So, you know, before I got with her, you know, I could just work as much as I wanted to, or as much as I needed to. And I didn't have somebody kind of complaining, oh, you work too much. We don't go out. We don't do nothing. You know, it's like when you have somebody kind of like complaining about you working too much, like that's messing with your bag. Like that's messing with your bag, you know? And so like stuff like that, you know, I allowed her to basically kind of interfere with my level of work that I was doing to get my bag up to a certain amount, because I didn't want her to feel like I was neglecting her and I wasn't spending time with her. And then I was scared that she was going to, you know, go find some other guy. And then, well, I was only talking to him because you didn't have time. You know how girls do that shit, man. You know, you didn't have time for me and bullshit like that. Like, nah, nigga, I'm trying to like get my money up so like our quality of life can be better, you know? But me being me, I was so focused on the relationship, I was afraid to let this bitch go, because I'm like, well, you know, sometimes you have to let people do what you're afraid that they're going to do just to see what you're dealing with. In other words, like, if your girl is complaining that you work too much and you don't spend time with her, give her the opportunity to cheat, so that you know if she's the type of girl that is actually good for building with. Like a lot of us men, we like get scared that we're not spending enough time with our woman if we work too much, that she's going to get bored and want to find some other guy to take her out or spend time with her, or that has money like right now, while you're trying to be in a process of like getting your money up. We're afraid that in us doing that, it's going to make her feel like we're not taking enough time with her, or she'll go off and go, you know, date some other guy. Give her the opportunity to show you what she's going to do, because honestly, I would rather find out now that, oh, wow, you're not really a chick I can't build with you because you want it all right now, or you want it all on your timetable. If I don't get the bag right now, if I don't get it in your 1 or 2 years, you're ready to move on to the next guy or situation because you feel like it's not happening quick enough, or it's not happening on your timetable. Like that's about 80 to 90% of women. Most women, they want a man that's successful. Most women are not willing to allow that man a certain time frame to even get to that point. It's like, if you don't get there when they think you should get there, or it's not happening quick enough in their eyes, then they're out. They're going to the next guy that's already got the bag, that's already got the money, that's already got the cars, whatever, that's already got the business, you know. And it's fine. It's fine. It's like that. What I'm saying is, you know, I've got to the point to where I'm not letting that type of stuff, like, you know, discourage me or encourage me. It's like I'm past this point of, you know, being motivated by a girl or a woman or a relationship to need to get to where I'm going. Like, I've been past that point for a while. I'm like, this is for me. You know, would there possibly be benefits of a relationship when I accomplish all this? Possibly. But at the same time, too, what they say, like, don't expect a man to fall in love or to want to be committed to a woman after he's gotten to his financial goals or his in life. In other words, don't expect a man to be, loyal to one woman after he's reached that goal or that better quality of life, whether it's income, lifestyle, whatever. I'm not saying that I'm not a one woman kind of guy, but for me to want to be with one woman is like me. It would have to be a woman that showed me that she's with me now and when the good shit happens, like I'm at a point right now with my standards in dating whenever I do date of if you don't want me as bad as I want you, then I don't want it. If it's not like that, I don't want it. I don't need it. I don't care about it. It's all just cap. Like, unless you're that woman that wants me the way that I want you, I don't give a shit. I don't care how pretty you are, how many other guys want you. If it ain't like that, it's just another ass. It's just another chick. It's just one more chick. You know what I'm saying? You just one more chick that I thought was cute, one more chick that I was interested in. It don't really mean nothing. Now, if it's something that's mutual, yeah, you might get my attention. Yeah, you might get me to kind of look back twice. Like, okay, like, we can see what happens. But if it's not like that, I'm just like, nah, it's nice, but if it ain't like that, I don't want it. And I think that's how a lot of men should be. If that thing or that person you want don't want you the same way, if it's all this kind of like wishy-washy, maybe not, it's always like, well, later or in the future or, not right now type of energy, like just always waiting kind of energy for some perfect time in the future. More than likely, once I get to that point where I'm actually where I want to be at, I'm probably not going to be like, yeah, you're that girl. It's like, nah, we can, we can parlay a little bit, but it ain't going to be like that. Most men, they're not really like the men that, in my opinion, the women that men are that loyal and committed to, they're the ones that woman, she was there from like when this nigga had a fucking Toyota Corolla to when he's driving a fucking Lamborghini. Like, I'm the same nigga that was in that car that I'm in now, and you was here then, and you still here now. So now this value gets transferred to you because you showed me like you wasn't in this for like what you could potentially get from me. You're in this because of me. It ain't about what I could do for you. It was always about me, and you prove that. And so like, if it's not like that, like, I'm not going to be just kind of like once I get to where I want to, and I'm making, like I said, I'm making moves right now, and I'm getting way more, aggressive and bullish on a lot of things. Like, I just opened another investing account. I'm researching every day on like where to put my money at. Like, I'm investing money into accounts like every check. Crypto, like ETFs, like I'm watching the market. So like every day, like not every day, like every paycheck, I'm putting a certain amount of money so this stuff can grow and compound. So like I've already got something going to where even though I'm not where I want to be right now, I'm getting I'm planting the seeds right now. So once I get farther along in the process of what I'm building right now, those things are already kind of in the background, just growing right now, you know? So, like, for example, like, we're moving into a time where technology, data infrastructure, AI, like that's what the infrastructure is going to be, like AI, robotics, technology, like just going to be another huge technology boom. So like, if you can, like, you should probably be putting your money in those places because that's where the world is going. You know, everybody's going to technology, whether it's AI, robotics, data centers, data storage center, whatever you want to call it. That's where a lot of stuff is going to be booming at, economic wise, So a lot of my money I'm putting in certain stocks, certain ETFs, and just going to grow it, grow it, grow it, grow it. I'm doing it now. So like by the time I get to a certain age, like that stuff should start paying me back. And that's just in addition to like other things that I'm doing. And, I'm doing the whole clothing brand thing. I'm still working on that. I'm working on that literally every day. I'm still building that. I'm trying to perfect my designs, but once I get to a point to where, and honestly, like I haven't even like I've gotten a lot of newer designs done, but I haven't even released those to my actual site because I'm basically going to be releasing all of my newer clothing designs after like they're basically all done. After that's done, I'm going to find some popular influencer. You can go on sites and get them to help grow your brand. Like my whole promotional technique is going to be different this time. Like I'm going to be getting help with like, you have to pay some money, but like I'm going to basically be, it's like by myself, it's hard. They say like you need help. So like I'm going to get help to like, once I get to the point to where, I get a solid portfolio of new designs. The next stage is investing in the brand again to get more exposure, more promotion. I'm going to be investing a lot of money in promotion and media presence and stuff like that. I'm going to basically redo my whole way of promoting my brand and, promoting myself. I'm going to be actually, wearing my stuff, making videos of me wearing it. I'm going to be doing a whole new way of doing it. Before it was just kind of like, nah, I took a few pictures, posted it, but now it's like, it's going to be done in a more like exciting way where it's like, this is my brand. This is what I want you to see. It's just going to be a different energy basically. So, but I'm not even going to even worry about that until I'm at the point to where, I have a strong line of designs that I kind of want to say I'm re-releasing the brand, but not really. I'm just basically because my other designs were kind of some of them were mediocre, so I kind of feel like I kind of started the brand on kind of like I just didn't really represent the brand the way that I think I should have starting out, but I'm trying to do that now. And so that's why I'm taking so long and kind of just focusing on making really unique, really cool designs. So when I re-release the brand, it's going to be like all this stuff that you see right here is basically like, this is what I really want to represent my brand. Like these ideas, these images, these visuals, these concepts. So that's basically what I'm focusing on right now is really just kind of making a brand my own, really just kind of just going within and just, making these images to, represent what I want the brand to represent, and learning too. So, like I said, I'm working on it every day now. Before I was kind of working on it, one day here, one day here. Now it's like every day now. And like last night, I literally damn near almost fell asleep working on this one one design where, you know, I'm still working on it, trying to get like, you know, stuff right with it. But what I do now too is I work on multiple designs at one time, because sometimes certain designs I'll get stuck. I won't know, like, you know, where to go with it, or, you know, like, you know, how to make it look right. So a lot of times I would get kind of discouraged and kind of just put it down. But now what I do now is I'll work on like 3 designs like one time. So if I get to a point in one design where, you know, I don't know what to add to it next or how to fix it, I'll go to a different design, start that one, work on that one. And then sometimes like, I'll like start one design, and that one design, it'll take like, you know, 3 weeks for me to do. But then sometimes I'll like, you know, start another design and I can get it done in like a day or a few hours, you know. Um, so it just depends. Like certain designs I'm working on, like it takes a lot more kind of like just editing and redoing it, because a lot of times you don't have to tell Chat GPT like, you know, how to get the details right, or I have to combine different like, you know, AIs or softwares to basically get one effect, save it, resize it, get the right resolution, and then save it, open it up in a different generation model engine, and then use that one to create another effect that the other engines can't do. And then like save it and then move it to a different one. And then, you know what I'm saying? It's different layers of things. So other certain designs are just more complicated, you know? And I'm still learning to y'all. Even though it's AI, it's, you know, it creates it for you. It's still a lot in refining, because I have like some images, I have like 20 different versions of one image, because, you know, it like certain engines won't make it right, and you have to describe it in a way to where it's understood and it comes out right. If it's not right, I can't release it, I won't make it. So it's very time consuming, but like when I get it right, I get so excited, I get so happy. And like once I start wearing this stuff, y'all, like I'm just, and the things about it, when I wear a shirt out and someone sees it and they like it, it lights up my entire like world. I just feel amazing, because first of all, I like it, I love it. But then when somebody else sees it and they appreciate it, that like makes me just feel amazing. Like I was at work the other day and I met this person, and you know, they basically had invited me to, well, they had seen my gauges in my ear, and they were like, oh my God, like I love your, cause you know, people like, I don't know why, but like people love that I'm a security guard and have gauges. You know, and I'm like, yeah, you know, whatever. But they're like, oh my God, like I love your gauges, oh my God. And then like through that comment, like they invited me to basically a party, basically, or a venue. And they were like, yeah, once you get there, just ask for me, I'll get you in for free, blah, blah, blah. And then they were like, what's your Instagram? And I was like, I gave it to them. And then like on my Instagram, I was like, you know, in the process of like posting like one of my designs. And they seen it and they went, oh my God, that's so cool. Did you make that? I was like, yeah, you know, I generated it, you know. I'm like, yeah, you know, I make shirts and stuff like that. I make designs for shirts. And they were like, oh my God, like I love that. That's so cool. Like, that's sick. And I'm like, I appreciate it. Thank you. So like I meet like people through like the most random ways. Like I've met like a lot of people through my job when they coming in and leaving like Waffle House and shit like that. Like, you know, I met a few people like that. I've gotten a few contacts, business, you know, and just when someone appreciates, you know, when I create an image and they like it, they like the concept behind it, like that makes me feel amazing, you know. And so like I know that there's a market and there's a niche for, you know, my kind of imagery on my kind of clothing. Like I posted in a video or a post the other day on my Facebook page. I was like, I posted on a Facebook post the other day. I was like, I'm pretty good at making cool, unique images. What I'm working on right now is, you know, translating that into something that looks cool, but also looks good on clothing as well. Because I want people to look at my stuff and want to wear it. Like I want them to look at it and be like, man, that's some tough drip. You know what I'm saying? I don't want the image to just be cool, but I want it to look good when you put it on too. So like that's what I'm kind of transitioning to, is knowing how to make stuff look stylish, knowing how to put the right color scheme of a design on a certain color of fabric so that when you put it on, like, shorties is like, damn, that's some tight gear, and I'm learning how to do that right now. I'm researching things like color theory and stuff like that, textures, palettes and stuff like that, because I've never really dove that deep into it. I just, I made a cool image and that was it. But now, okay, I'm like, okay, I know how to make a cool picture. I know how to make a, I know how to, get chat's help to create a cool image. I got that down for the most part. Now I just need to figure out how to make this look good on actual clothing pieces, whether it's changing the background, the pattern in the background, or a certain texture or a certain type of clothing or something, a certain color scheme, a certain type of fabric, a certain, type of garment, all type of stuff, So that's what I'm kind of learning right now while I'm doing it in real time, I never put this much effort into something. I never put this much time into anything. I kind of always just like, it's good enough. But I don't, for this brand to be what I want and need it to be, I have to, go the extra mile, because I don't want to just be another brand. I need to be known for being different, being unique, but also, again, being stylish, like looking good. If people don't think they might think you have a cool looking picture, but if they don't feel like it looks good when they put it on, or looks cool and stylish and swag, whatever you want to call it, they're not going to buy it. So like, that's basically what I'm having to figure out right now. And that's where I'm kind of like, refining the brand, refining, and I'm also working on, having range, meaning like a lot of my, a lot of my designs, they're really bright and vibrant, which that's the main heart of the brand. But I'm also trying to, add some darker style designs, add some, darker themes, just different varieties and styles that, something for everybody. If you like the psychedelic trippy vibe, we got that. But if you also kind of just want to be kind of laid back, more casual, more like not drawing so much attention, I'm trying to have a line of designs like that too. You have to, I have a niche, and that niche is kind of spiritual, kind of, psychedelic and, imaginative. But I also want to have different styles that, kind of, appeal to different, style types. If you feel like being more gothic on that day, I got some darker theme designs that are more black. Everybody don't like, bright, popping, vibrant colors. Not even me. I do, but not every day. Like some days, I just want to be kind of laid back, chill, more casual. I want to have casual designs. Have something that don't draw too much attention. So I'm learning how to, basically like have range, in what I offer to people, which will basically, pretty much expand my customer base, basically, So yeah. Like I said, I'm just it's not even about the destination anymore, y'all. It was before, but now it's just like, honestly, I just need something to do. But I also want to, my intention is also, just changing what I'm experiencing. I'm tired of just experiencing the same thing. This is not about, oh, I'm leaving anybody. Like, it's not that serious in the sense of, all these things that people say. It's just that I'm tired of I'm just tired of experiencing reality how I've been experiencing it. I'm tired of basically working so much in my life for a job. And the amount of time and energy that I put into a job, if I put equal amounts of energy into building something of my own, then I gotta get something. I've gotta come away with something. If I'm putting all of my time into these companies, into these other, corporations, and they're getting rich off of my labor, off my life force, then I damn well better be putting that much energy into my own thing that I'm building, whether it's, investing, getting into stocks and, ETFs and real estate and whatever else the fuck, building my brand. Like, if I'm not putting that same amount of time and energy as I'm putting into working for somebody, then what the fuck am I doing? What am I doing? What are you doing? Like, what are we? Because think about it is like, we're getting paid like just enough right now to just be broke, basically, pretty much. And when you realize that, it's just like, once you realize that you're giving all of these years of your life to just basically be broke and to not even get to live life and experience the things that you want to do, but you're giving these people and these corporations all these years of your life, all this time. And what have you gotten back? Once you really like put that shit into perspective and you really really just think about it, you start to like be like, okay, like, if I'm giving my time away, giving my life away, then I'm going to do it in a way, again, that makes sense to me. And I'm sorry for like the sound, y'all. My allergies have been acting up since yesterday, so I apologize. They were getting better, and they are, but you know how that goes. Anyway, but yeah, so like, I just realized, like, if I'm not putting this amount of energy into my own life, my own brand, my own future, then what are we doing here? And so like, that's basically what it is right now. Like I said, I opened up another account. I'm going to probably open up another separate account, maybe like another 2 to 3 accounts, because it's always good to have, multiple accounts. But I just opened up a E-Trade account. I reopened my Coinbase account, and there's like 2 other accounts that I'm going to open up just to have access to different cryptocurrencies and stocks and stuff like that. But I'm buying like XRP. I'm going to be probably buying, adding a XRP like ETF this upcoming week on a different platform, and then adding some other technology and AI and robotics ETFs. I'm starting out with ETFs, but eventually I'm going to be investing. I'm going to be using those ETFs to help fund I'm going to get like stocks started, but like, I'm going to get those ETFs built up first, and then like compound the money that I get from them, and then use those to, invest in other like higher price like stocks when I get the right time to enter at the right price, once I have enough money. So that's my strategy, is start out small with ETFs, let those get built up, take a portion of those, compound it, and then reinvest into stocks and real estate, and then kind of build everything up, kind of like a good like foundation ground of like ETFs, because the ETFs are going to fund other ETFs and other stocks, but you got to have something that's kind of building right now, to where after it gets to a certain value, after adding money to it, you start getting paid dividends. After a certain while, you reinvest those dividends, compound it, and then buy more stocks, more ETFs. So it's all ultimately going to basically kind of pay for itself in a way, because you're going to use the money that you get from it to reinvest, and then exponentially make its value go up, because you're taking the money that you got from that initial investment, or those initial investments, to basically exponentially increase the value of your portfolio, or to buy more stocks, which will in turn pay for more stocks, and then pay for more stocks. And by a certain point in time, you'll have so many stocks making money, you don't even have to think about it. It's a machine now. It's just self-sustaining. So you gotta just get it going. And my main thing right now was just buying the right assets to where, at a certain point in time, like these things are paying me back and paying for themselves. Once it gets to be self-sustaining, where in other words, where it's paying me back in dividends or quarterly or whatever the fuck, then like the money I'm getting back from those things, like they're basically going to be what allows me to live better, basically. And that and my brand and stuff like that too. Honestly, like this is just my first step, but I gotta get a firm foundation. This is like the foundation. I plan on doing other shit too, but this is the foundation. Like I want to like get some land and like do a few like RV parks, but I feel like this is just a way to get started. And then as I go, my money starts to increase from like my sales and stuff like that, or whatever I saved up working. I'll start funding or getting loans to invest in other stuff like land, you know what I'm saying? Or using somebody else's money through credit, you know what I'm saying? So, cause they say like, it's best to use other people's money. Don't use your money, use other people's money, like use your credit. So like, that's one of my short-term goals is getting some land and developing it into like an RV park or something like that on a really nice piece of land, because RVing is really huge, but I gotta just get some cash flow first though, but like an RV like resort basically, and obviously too, I do want real estate, but you got to start somewhere. You can't start out too big, like think big, but like you have to start out small and then build your way up to like bigger shit, So I think about these things every day. I'm literally working on this stuff every day. And something else too, like I'm even like limiting like even like certain things and people I listen to now, not on some like, oh, I can only think positive thoughts. I don't give a fuck about thinking positive. Like, I'm sorry, like I don't believe in spirituality like that. I don't, I'm not like this good vibes only kind of person. But I do realize that, when you have all of these other voices around you or just on the internet, it's taking away from your reality. I'm realizing more and more I can't listen to everything and everybody, because everybody's got a different perspective. Everybody has their own like world that they're building basically. I'm realizing that I really can't listen to everybody, because all it's going to do, something that they say or do is going to basically discourage me or distract me or just whatever. Everybody's got their own shit going on, and I get it. It's life. But for me personally, I just realized that when I start listening to other people, how they see life. Oh, don't work in this world, don't work hard, don't work hard. Because I'm type person where, I say it again, I'm type person where I either like just work crazy, like insanely crazy, or I kind of want to just take it easy. I don't know in between, like right now, I'm working 6 days a week. I give myself one day where I kind of just chill. But like like really going forward, like I'm going to be getting back on that energy where kind of how I used to be when my girl used to complain about me working too much. Like, you always working. Like, well, how else am I supposed to like get this money? You know what I'm saying? I don't like having just enough money. I never like having just enough money. Ever since I had my first apartment, this is back when I was making just hardly any money. Like back then, like to me, like $500 in savings after my bills were paid, that was a lot of money back then. Now I'm like, I don't like to have any less than like $5,000 in the bank after bills are paid. Like just sitting there, at least. If I don't have that, to me, I'm broke. To me, like, you know, if something happens, my car breaks down, like I'm broke. Like I won't spend shit. I won't go nowhere. So like if I don't have at least like $5,000 saved up at least, like I'm broke. Even if my bills are paid and up to date, like I look at myself as being broke, you know? So, and I've always been like that. I can't stand, you know, I know you can't help it sometimes. I know people can't help it when they're living paycheck to paycheck because, you know, like shit happens, life happens, but I don't never want to be where I'm like, you know, like, like even like my other job that just changed contractors, they have this thing where you can get paid early and like basically get paid some of your money from your check before you get paid. I'm like, why would I want to take money out of my check before I actually get it? It's like, no, I'll wait until my scheduled day until I can get all my money at one time. You know, like, why would I take money before I even made it? You know what I'm saying? That's like basically getting like a title loan check or some shit like that. All the interest that you're going to be paying for that check or that money, you're going to be giving back like twice as much money, which means you're going to end up losing money because, you know, you needed money basically. My whole point is like, I hate like just having just enough. If I have just enough, like it's just not enough, you know? And this is why I'm kind of getting back into like that work mode where, you know, it's just like, you know, like now it's kind of time to like start going crazy again. I'm not going to make myself sick. I'm not going to overly like exhaust myself. I want to get rest, but it's like now it's kind of just like, you know, a lot of the stuff that I was worried about, a lot of the stuff that I was, you know, just letting really just, I don't know, just distract me, whatever. I'm like, I don't even really care about no more. I mean, some of the things I do, but other stuff is just like, you know, like some shit is, like I said, with this waiting energy, is just like, if it goes somewhere, it goes somewhere. If it doesn't, it doesn't. It's like, either way, I got shit to take care of, you know. I'm not waiting around for nobody or nothing. Like my life is not stopping, you know. Should I happen to, you know, meet somebody, you know what I'm saying? Like I do. If I don't, then I don't. But it's like the version of me that is waiting around for maybes and maybe nots, or, you know, not right now. Maybe like this maybe energy is like, listen, maybe, but maybe not. I'm saying the same shit. It could happen, but I'm not going to hold my breath. I'm not waiting around for all of these maybe scenarios. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm going to live my life and I hope everybody else lives their life, you know, like, but this life is too short for like maybe energy or like maybe, I don't know, possibly, like, no. We're not doing that. That's the old me. The old me didn't value my own time enough to be like, listen, I'm going to do what makes me happy. And whatever happens, we're going to go from there. You know, I'm open to certain things. I'm open to possibilities of future possibilities, but I ain't holding my breath. You know, we're not moving like that no more. I am literally creating and rendering my reality in real time. Once you're waiting on somebody, you're literally living by somebody else's timeline. If I'm waiting around for somebody or some scenario, I'm literally building my reality around something that may or may not ever fucking happen. And that's just something that I'm not doing no more, you know? Like, that's the difference. Like, and when you move like that, like, that's when you really start to, like, really, like, morph reality. That's when you really start to kind of mold reality around your being, because you're not waiting on somebody or waiting on, well, maybe, or once you get rich, maybe, or once you got more money, maybe. Like, nah, fuck all that. Like, no, I'm doing everything I'm doing right now for me. It ain't got shit to do with nobody else. Like, that's how you should move. Like, a lot of us, we're doing things to make other things happen. And I'm like, no, Like, this is literally for me. Like, it's not for anybody else but me. Like, my business, like my RV, it's literally for me. Me investing money into stocks and stuff, that's for me. That's not for anybody else. Maybe there was some inspiration, but it was never a thing of like, oh, I got to do this to get this thing or that person or that situation. No, that's no. Even like with me working out. Now I will admit, like, I'm working out more. I'm taking my health more seriously. Yeah, maybe, might want more, attention from women. Yeah, sure. But it's not like just for that. But I have noticed I am getting more attention, if I'm being honest. And I've noticed other like benefits too, but I'm not doing it like, man, if I do these 5 reps, maybe I'll get some pussy tonight. Like, no, it's just like women just in generally, they just like men that are in better shape. And it's obvious. Like, I've noticed, like, I get way more attention. I get way more random chicks just having conversations because I'm just like, well, I'm the type of guy I have to kind of build where when I work out, because I'm kind of stocky, like, I look really muscular. Like, I get really, really muscular, like, working out. And it's noticeable because I'm not super tall. So, like, my muscles look bigger on my body type because I'm kind of like that air in a plumber kind of build. Something like that. Like, when I work out, I'm kind of like that. And so, like, I've noticed, like, the more I work out, the better I eat. Like, I just notice I get more attention, and the energy is like different. So, like, I ain't gonna lie, like, that shit makes me like want to work out more. I'm like, okay, cool, like, type shit. But I'm not doing it like just for that. You know what I'm saying? But it's just when I notice that when I talk to women, like, they act different. I don't know if it's just like the hormones or whatever. Like, I don't know if it's just like, because if you're a man, when you work out, you release testosterone. Your testosterone goes up. So I don't know if it's that. Your voice gets a little bit deeper. I don't fucking know, but I know there's definitely a difference. I notice it. So, like, yeah, stuff like that. It just it kind of like encourages me to, like, okay, like, keep going, like, keep being consistent, like, you know what I'm saying? So, little stuff like that, I kind of lost my thought a little bit, but, like I said, I am moving forward, but I'm just not moving forward in this, like, kind of anticipation energy or this waiting energy of like, well, expecting certain, things to be a certain way based off of anybody or anything else outside of what I'm literally creating right now. Because once you do that, again, you're going off of you're going off of your present now, your reality generating, like, you're basically taking your power of creation away from yourself, and then kind of like letting somebody else influence it. And that's what I've been doing for so long. And that drains you, like, that you're leaking your manifestation power because it's being molded by somebody else. You know what I'm saying? So that's all. It's just being aware of that, being present, staying present. And, I'm not perfect. You're not perfect. You're not going to ever get it perfect. But the main idea is to pretty much stay present and grounded in your now, like what you're doing for you and only you. And then if other people fit into that, maybe not, then they do or they don't. But that's pretty much it. This waiting energy, that time is gone. That era is done. Nobody's waiting for nobody. Nobody's expecting anything. No one's, there's no expectations except my own, and I live up to my own expectations based off of what I am intending to create in this present moment. And that's just it, so I'm good. I'm straight. I'm happy with that. That's going great. I feel amazing. Every day you have your ups and downs, but that's just life. So that being said, about to go in here, make some soup for the night. Some nice, good, hearty soup. I got one viewer. Whoever that is, thank you for tuning in. I appreciate your time and your tuning in. I'm not sure who it is. They haven't said anything. Hope it's not a Stalker X. they have done that before. But if it's not, it's good to see you, whoever you are. Hope you have a great day. And yeah, they just cut off just now. Later.